immediately so that you can start a treatment as early as possible. And the easiest way is the patient complains of pain and sudden diminution of vision with poor or nil fundal growth. And there will be unexpected anterior chamber reactions like hypopia. And then there might be some other small or may not be other symptoms or signs present, but these are the most important signs and symptoms. You have to take care. I personally believe that if you diagnose a case of endophthalmitis, please do not transfer the patient or refer the patient to some other person before you inject the intravitreal injections. And those injections will be taken care of. And how do you diagnose? For the diagnosis and the confirmation of the diagnosis of the endophthalmitis, you have to have those signs and symptoms. And if the sutures are given, look at the sutures. You can take all the sutures for the culture sensitivity test. You can have AC tab, but the results are not so good. The vitreous tab, the yields are almost 50 to 70%. And then if you cannot suck the vitreous, you can do the vitrectomy, and in the cassette, whatever the fluid you have, you can send it for the culture sensitivity test. But that still, the yield is much less. Before you do anything, you have to do the ultrasonography to understand whether the patient has got dislocated nucleus, what is the condition of the retina, whether its retina is attached or choroid attached or detached, and what is the condition of the vitreous exudation and the extent of the exudation. So, at the same time, you have to see whether the patient has got intraocular foreign body or not, because if you have any of these, it changes the modality of treatment. Now, many times you have to differentiate whether the patient has got a TAR, that is inflammation, or real infection. So the most common things you find that if the focal infiltrate is infection, if the color of the exudate is yellow, it is infection. If you see that the fundus is very hazy or it's not visible, it's endophthalmitis, it's infection, and normally the intraocular pressure is little low in infection cases. These are very important. This table is very important. What is the mainstay of treatment? It remains as the transconjunctival intravitreal antibiotics plus topical plus systemic antimicrobials with or without anti-inflammatory and steroids. It will be covered. And supportive treatment and then vitrectomy. Mind you, before you are giving the transconjunctival intravitreal antibiotic injection, also you have to have a consent signed. You have to get the consent. It's not that only operation needs a consent, this also needs a consent. And you must see what is the vision of the patient. Ultrasound is a must. And you have to see the lens status. Vitrectomy is very important because it decreases the infectious, toxic and inflammatory load, provides good specimen for the culture sensitivity test, and increases the antibiotic concentration. And it gives media opacities are removed for the better and rapid recovery. There are some difficulties while doing vitrectomy because the media is hazy. If you have the corneal abscess, it is very difficult to see the media do the vitrectomy. And if the IL is there might be exudates, and on the IL it will make the visibility very poor. And while doing the vitrectomy, the retina is very friable. You cannot go very close to the retina. You can't create a PVD, and iatrogenic retinal detachment is not uncommon. And that's why you take a precaution that you have a maximum cutting rate with minimum suction. Do not induce the PVD. Do not go near to the retina. And what I do is I always try and save the lens if the lens is there. I mean the natural lens. Now this is a case of trauma. So it was a corneal cut injury with iris prolapse. The media was clear and the patient's vision was finger count. This was done by my junior colleague. He tried to reposit it because I believe that it should be reposited first. And he could not do it, so he just did the iridectomy and did the stitching. And the patient has got a pretty good vision. He had 6/9 partial with corrective glasses. But after some time, the patient came to me saying there's a pain. There is a lot of pain. The patient complained that there's a lot of pain. So I saw that the lid there was lid swelling and the pain, and the media was very hazy, and pain was and there was a lot of congenital conditions, and so I immediately took him for the surgery, because these days you have because you have 25 gauge vitrectomy these days, so it makes things very easy. When he came for the next time, during the surgery, I thought that there is a foreign body. So after this surgery, you please see there, after I completed the vitrectomy, the foreign body is removed. And the history of surgery was, he was cutting the, holy thread that the Panditji tries you out. He was cutting it, and it was hit by the knife. And I didn't think that there was any chance of foreign body, but there was a foreign body, and probably that was the cause of endophthalmitis in this case. Sometimes you have very nagging vitreous exudates and it doesn't come out, but in endophthalmitis you can't be aggressive. It has to be slow, high cutting and low section. I have saved the lens, so I do not want to pull it, and I do not want to go to very close to the lens, otherwise it's going to create cataract. He is a young man, and this is sutureless surgery. Now look at this. There was a foreign body which is suspected, and it brought a stone chip. The moment I press there, it comes out and gets lost immediately. I'm not able to find it out. Just have a look, and it's coming out, it's just come, and then disappears immediately. I was trying to look, where is it? I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I irrigated the anterior chamber, and the patient again regained his vision to 6/12 this time. Here's the fundus picture after 1 week, and after 2 weeks the patient had good vision 6/12. Thank you very much.